good morning, or good afternoon, or good evening, whenever you're watching this. If you would like to subscribe to our channel, you would be really welcome. I'm just today going to make some things for the vet centre. So today we're going to make some boxes of dog and cat food and some tins of dog and cat food as well. Okay, and I will show you how to do it. So first off, on my computer I've printed up some of these little boxes, and they're downloadable, so I will put the link underneath. So I've got a dog one and I've got a cat one. Okay, and then I've printed up some more labels here for you to use, and I'm going to you can cut these out, and I've done these in paper, but I've done these ones on cardboard. So I'm just going to cut them all out and then I will come back. So I've done the cutting and I've really had a good play with this, so yours won't look as liney as mine, because I really wanted to make sure it would work and get it all down in the right position. Also my ink had started to run out, so it is a little bit more grainy, but I've made it so that the colours would come up in a two-tone on the box, so it is supposed to get white coming nearer to the top. So what I did was I cut it out, and I cut these little squares here out, and I cut all the way around, and you need to come up to that blue line up the top there. Okay, so I did that, so this is what it comes out like. And then I took this part of it and I cut it slightly smaller than that part, because when we fold the top over, you want it to be able to go underneath. So I've just trimmed that along just a bit smaller, and I trimmed that last corner there. Okay, now on the two end pieces, what you want to do is just at the top, you want to take them and you want to fold them inwards like that. Okay, so just on the two end pieces, just at the top, you don't need to do it at the bottom, just up the top there, just fold them in. So that one and that one, just there, just come down just a little bit and get them folded in like that. Okay, so you've got a fold there and a fold there. Then you can take your paper and you can turn it over and you can fold it all the way across the top as well. Obviously I've played around with mine quite a bit, so it's a bit messy, but it's probably easier to show you with a piece like this. Okay, so I folded that across, and then I took it and folded it on all the lines. So I folded it on that line there, I folded it on that line there, okay, I folded it on that line there, and I folded it on that line there. Okay, so you can see you should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces which are folded, and then you need to take the bottom and you need to fold that one up like that, and then you fold that one up like that. Okay, right, so what we're going to do is I'm going to put glue all over this piece here. So I'm just going to grab a piece of paper to put some glue on. That's paint, it's not glue. I was just doing some painting. Okay, so just pop a dab of glue on, not too much. There we are. Grab my paintbrush. Okay, I'm going to put glue, as I say, all across the bottom here. Now you could use a prick stick for this if you don't want to use a wet glue. Sometimes if you're using a wet glue, it can sort of warp the paper, and then you want to put glue all the way down this side here. Okay, but you want to make sure you put it on the picture piece. All right, oh, that's paint again. Grab a bit more glue, a tiny bit more. So I'm just going to go all over the top of that, right up to the very top. I get every bit of it, that's it. And then what you can do then as well, just to make sure, is to take this piece and put a bit more glue just on this edge here, that outside edge, just to make sure that that stays down. There you go. Okay, a bit on the bottom there as well, and the top. And I'd cut that just in a slant. like that, just off, and I did the same on the other one, just so that that doesn't come up when you're laying it down. Okay, let's put that out the way. Put that out the way. Right, so there we go. So you've got your glue. So what you're going to do now is push this piece up inside and push this piece over like that, so it's standing up like that, and then bring the rest of your box down. Oh, no, you're not. Sorry, I did that wrong. Sorry. I'm going to push that piece back out the way and push that piece which has no glue on it up, so it's sort of making that box shape, and then you can bring that piece over, and then if you can get your finger in there, get that all lined up, and then pinch that together and give that a second or two just to stick. That's a good noise, isn't it? Hopefully you could see that. I'll do that again, shall I? I don't know if you could see that. Let's do that again. Sorry, I'm just doing this again because I wasn't sure that whether you saw that or not. So I just put that piece down and that piece on the top there, like that, and I'm just squeezing that over like that there. Okay, right, and then you've got your glue on the inside of that piece, and you've got a tiny bit of glue on the very edge, and you want to just bring it over and marry it up so it fits in there just like that. Now you want to get in there if you can. If you can't get all the way in there, grab my knife a minute, what you can do is to get something which is long, you can use a pencil or anything, and just run it, push it in so that you've got a nice edge to push against, and it should stick down nicely like that, all the way down. If you find that it is coming up a little bit, like it is here, just a tiny bit there, what you can do is just put your paintbrush, put a tiny bit more glue, and pop it just inside there. Just run it along that seam if it's not sticking. You could use a double-sided sticky tape if you wanted, if you didn't want to use glue. I think this school glue seems to work the best with this type of thing. Sort of lasts. Okay, there you go. So there you have it. And then I will show you what it looks like. But obviously yours, I would wait. I would leave it like that then and just wait. But I'll show you what it looks like once it's done. So, because it might come undone, that's the only thing. Okay, so you've got your little packet just like that. And just give it a little squeeze there, and a little squeeze in there. And you can fold that down and fold it over. And there you go, you've got a little packet of cat food, alright? Just fold it over just like that. And then we'll fill that up in a bit, and I'll show you how to fill it up, okay? There you go. So I'm going to do exactly the same with the dog's food. So we'll have a pack like that for cats, and we'll have a pack like that for dogs, okay? So I'm just going to make the things, I thought I'd make some bits which look like sort of round circles to go into our bags for our cat food and our dog food. So what I've done is I've just made these. I thought they did look a bit like cat biscuits. That's clever, isn't it? So they do look a little bit like biscuits. I was just trying to think of something which I could do which is just a bit different. So I'm going to just make these up as for biscuits. I'm going to pop them in there out the way so they're safe for a minute because they're just rolling everywhere. And what you do is you buy a bag of, it's called quilling, and you can get them for about 99p in craft shops. They're not expensive at all, okay? And you come and you get a big bag of stuff like this. Now I got this from a charity shop, and it was in a big bag, but it was all crumpled up like this. So I thought, oh, that'll be okay, I could use that up. So I'm just going to use that. Now I just had a cocktail stick when I was making these here, and I've put it down, and I can't for the life of me find it, but you need a cocktail stick as well. You can just use a cocktail stick instead of a quilling tool. So all you do is you just use that, the quilling tool has got a little hole, I don't know if you can see it there, in the centre, and that just goes inside the paper. You can make really nice little paper things with this, and they're great for decorating cards and make lovely flowers and all sorts of things. But you can just cut small pieces of paper. Okay, so you spread it in between the two lines, and then Arwen comes and attacks it. Thank you, Owen. And then you roll it around just like that. So you're turning this thing and it just tightens up into a tight little ball. Do you like that, Owen? Do you? There you go. So, and then make up as many as you want, and when you think that you've got it big enough, just take that end off. You can break that before you do that if you want to. Before you start, make sure you can sort of make sure yours are all the same. So if you say tried half a piece of paper for each one, right, so what you would do is you'd pick up the cocktail stick, because you only need the tiniest little amount of glue, pop it onto the paper and roll it around. Okay, and then once you've got it all nice and rolled and it seems to be sealed, flip it off, and then between your fingers just squeeze it, and then you'll find it goes down nicely. If you can't get it to go down 100%, let's grab a board. You can just you can just get your piece of paper grilled and you just push it on the board like that, both sides, and then you'll get a nice flat piece. So I just thought that might be something, because it's just paper, it's not expensive, it's just something you could do whilst you're sat there, and you could fill up the bag with all different colour ones. I mean, you can, when you buy the bags of the quilling paper, you can buy them all different colours. So you could just say do brown, get brown and cream and that sort of thing. They do selections on colours, so that would work just like that. So I'm going to fill up my bag with those. We're going to make some cans for our vet's shop, for our vet's clinic, and I've just started. All I've done is I've got this lovely metallic polymer clay. This was a Fimo. It's got like a glittery shine to it, and I thought that would be really nice to make the tins out of. So you could either use this for tins of cat food or for tins of dog food. Now I've just done this one, and I've made this just by taking a ball of clay and just making it into a sausage shape like that, pressing the ends, both ends down, and doing it like that. And then once it was baked, I could just put a piece of paper around the outside. But then the children always ask if they can look and see what's inside the tins. So I thought what I'd try and do is see if I could make one which was hollow. So what I did was I took my little round cutter. You don't have to buy these cutters. These were a pack from Fimo, and they had all different cutters in them. What you can use, I don't know if you've ever had those little fruit shooty type drinks. They've got like a little plastic lid in those, and they cut out things really well. But there are lots of other things like that, just the plastic container like that. So you can use all sorts of anything which has got a little small round cut lid top neck. Anything with a little small round neck on it works quite well for making little cutters like this. You can sort of use all sorts of things, like you could take, that's the top of the Fimo, so that would work as a little cutter, and you can use all different things. This little top here would work as a cutter, so you can use all things like that. So I've used that cutter, and then I've cut a long piece out like that. I'm going to take this bottom piece and I'm just going to turn it over like that, and I'm going to lift this up using my tool. And I would recommend, if you're going to get polymer clay, that you work with polymer clay, you get one of those tools, because they're absolutely brilliant, and I use it all the time. Alright, so, and then I'm just going to take my piece of clay and I'm going to come around and I'm going to run it around this just have it just slightly inside your the base. Okay, so you want to make a circle, and now I've made it so that I can actually fit my little finger inside. So I'm going to just come across and do that. I'm going to have my little finger inside it. Hopefully you can see that. I'm having my finger inside it. And I just want to push that around so that just the very lip of the bottom is showing, so it looks like the lip of the tin. And I want to keep my walls of the tin reasonably straight. Alright, so I've got them there, and we're coming up like that. So I'm going to put my finger in there now, and I'm just going to smooth these two edges together. Now if you've got one of those polymer clay tools, which is a silicone tool, you might be able to do that a bit better using that. But I'm just going to do this because I'm not too worried about if there's an indentation there, because what we are going to do is we're going to put paper around it, and we're going to put a paper label on it. So I'm just going to smooth that out as best as I can, okay, like that. And then I'm going to get that, go around the top and make sure that's in a nice circle around the top. And you want to make sure those walls are pretty flat and straight going up as well. So you want it sort of come up like a little cylinder like that. There we go. All right, and then what I did then was I just got a small piece of clay, broke off a small piece of clay and rolled it into a ball, and then I squished it down flat. And what you want it to be is so that it just fits just inside, so it's just going to fit inside there. And then I've made another piece which will fit on top. I'm just going to put the tiniest little amount of this on. You don't have to put this on, you can just do without. This just going to help it stick together, but you don't actually need that. It will stick on its own. I'm just going to put that in for a little bit of ease, and I'm going to pop that on like that, and this will help my lid to stay on. Okay, and I'm going to slip my lid off the tile carefully. That's it, and that should go onto the top of my tin like that. All right, so can you see that? So, and I'm just going to bring my pieces up, but you don't want it to stick to that lid. Bring it up how you want it to go in the oven. Okay, now if you're worried about this and you think that this might sort of collapse in the oven, what you can do is just take a piece of, oops, just a second, I'll just take that out, sorry, just take a piece of foil and just roll it around into a round shape, cylinder type shape itself, and place that inside there. I want to put this, when I bake it, I want that piece on the bottom and that piece on the top. Okay, like that. And then that should bake together, and that should just be a tin, so you don't need to put a handle on top of your dog's food tin or your cat food tin. So you can make one like that, and then you can, if you want to make the cat food one, what I would do, because the cat foods are not usually as big, so I would probably only make my the bottom of my tin about that big. Okay, and as I say, this was Fimo, and it was a metallic silver. So if you want to get that one to make the tins with, do that. So I shall go away and I shall bake it, and what I like to do is bake lots of different things together and then come back and because it saves the oven, and I always like to clean my oven out afterwards, because I always worry about it might have like the chemicals in the oven, so I always like to put it on mine's got self-clean to it, so I always put it on a self-clean afterwards. So there you go, so that's the start of your little cat or dog food. Okay, so as you know, we've already made these. So here is the dog's one. There we go. So I'm not quite sure which lid fits which. That one goes on there. Let's see which one goes on here. Does that one go on that one? Just took these out of the oven, so they're still a little bit warm. Yeah, no, yeah, does it? Yes, that one fits on that one. So that one fits that one, and I presume that one fits on that one. Now, again, you could fill these up with those paper things if you wanted to. I don't think that one fits on that one. Does it go on that one? Yeah, it goes on that one. That's good. There you go. So that one's on there. So there we go. Right. Push it on. There we go. So then you could fill that up, because as you know, the children just love to have that. Or I tell you what I was thinking you could do. You could get some funky foam. Get some brown, maybe, and some grey or something like that, and fill it up with those, because these look a little bit more like cat's biscuits, I thought. And you could fill it up with funky foam, and then you could have your cat's treats like that. So you could do one of the two, or you could just make get some polymer clay and make just little squares and just bake them, or chunks, little chunky shapes, and bake them like that. So we've got our, is that the lid? I don't know which lid I put on it now. No, it wasn't that one, it was that one, wasn't it? Now, if they're not fitting absolutely perfectly, okay, what you can do with polymer clay is you can sand it all the way around, but also you can come around with your knife, and your knife will cut the clay as well, which is really good. So you can just take your knife and it would just cut off any bits you want to be cut off. So I should do that. And then what I did was I printed out all the labels. So let's get a piece of wood. So these you'll find online. Okay, they should be there and all ready to go. And I've done it, which I was thinking was going to be the size, but it's a tiny bit too big. So I'm just going to take my scissors and just trim it along a little bit. So you'd obviously make it whatever size you made your tin is. You want to make your paper to be the same size. So I'm just going to trim that along. Okay. And I'm just going to put that on. The trouble is with the polymer clay, sometimes you find that you don't, can you see I've made my tin too small for that piece. Let's see if one of the other tins is slightly bigger. I know what it was. I measured the cat's ones, but I didn't measure the dog one. Yeah, I think I've made them all just slightly too small for it. So just remember to measure your tins first. So let's put that on. I'll just cut a bit more off that. I'm going to cut a bit off poor Teddy's foot. Poor Teddy. So Teddy is my mum's dog. So my mum's usually here on a Saturday and a Sunday. She sleeps over. But obviously we've got COVID, so that's why I'm stuck up here. There, so that'll fit on like that. And obviously you would make yours just that tiny bit bigger. And then you might need to trim off a little bit there, just so that it doesn't go over the words, okay? So I'm just going to take that, and you probably want to get a nice stripe cut, so probably be better if you take it and cut it like that. There you go. Okay, and then pop on your paper. That's it. Like so. Line that up. And then we're just going to pop a little bit of glue just on this piece here, okay? So I've got a little, I haven't got a little bit of glue, have I? I thought I had some glue. Let's just pop a bit of glue on. Okay, grab a brush. This brush has got paint on it, I think. And run that glue up there. There we go. There we go. Yeah. Pop that on there. Seal that across. And there you go. Well, actually, what I might have done, I think I might have cut it back here because it's quite close to where Teddy's picture is, which is a bit of a shame, but I'll cut it back there on the next one. Put your lid on, put your things, whatever you want inside. Wrong lid again. Put your lid on, and then you've got it all ready to go. Okay, so there is your tin of dog food. Hope you enjoyed that. So you can do exactly the same. We've got the one to do the cat food with, and we've got our tiny, much smaller tins for the cat food one. So that's just there. So you'll just pop that one round to set the same for your cat food. There you go. All right, and pop that one on and put your lid on. Okay. Okay. Hope you enjoyed them.